Hey YouTube, Moose Cow here. I did my first four-player game this past weekend. First in-person four-player game since the pandemic started. We did it at my buddy Rick's, and I played Germany and Italy. And the game's actually, as I record this, it's still going on. But we did a full 6 rounds, I believe, 5 or 6 rounds. Oh, 6 rounds, I believe. We'll in person, and we'll continue it. But I had the challenge of being Germany and Italy, and I just want to go over kind of what I did to prep out my G1 turn, and how to make it go as fast as possible. Since we were playing at Rick's, you know, I didn't want to show up and then be like, okay guys, I'm gonna need like an hour to think or try to remember everything as to what's gonna happen. So to speed up the process so we could just get into it, we also did the Spanish Civil War side thing of ours, so I had a nationalist outcome, as you can see there. But as a consequence of that, Germany and Italy both lost a fighter, they lost 1 infantry, and they lost 1 German tank. And then the survivors from Spanish Civil War, they go back to the capital. So I think these two fighters are different from the out-of-box setup, as well as the tank. So this isn't an exact out-of-box setup, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how to plan ahead. You know, if you're Germany and you have to play at somebody else's house, this is the method I did to make it that much faster getting to the dice rolling. So obviously I did plan out my purchases. Italy is going to buy a fighter, Germany's buying a fighter, destroyer, minor complex for Germany. Right? Well, that's simple, right? Anybody can do that, but what I do exactly to plan out who goes where. So all the purple chips are non-combat, and all the orange chips are combat movement, and all the explosions are the actual instances of combat. But in terms of what goes where, especially with you got this array of fighter planes, and you're trying to figure out which goes to which, and you're also trying to figure out the odds. So basically what you can see here, let's go to, we got France, we got the 3 main battles of my G1. Got the Battle of Paris, got the Battle of the English Channel, and we got the Battle of the North Sea, right? So I got my flight markers plotted out, right? And then I also designated each territory. There's 2 British sea zones, right? So I designated a Pacific roundel for the North Sea, and I designated the classic roundel for here, right? And then if you look, I have, for these 2 subs, they got the British roundels under. So those guys are going to coordinate to that sea zone. This fighter is going to coordinate to this sea zone. This tactical bomber coordinating to that sea zone. 1 strategic bomber from here, from Berlin, coordinating to there. And then this guy, he's going to Paris. He's going to English Channel. He's going to English Channel. English Channel, North Sea, Paris. And then they have the flight markers there, right? So then I get this all planned out. I take a photo of it. And then also, to help myself, this also goes to English Channel. I have the dice laid out. So these are my dice. These are his dice. If he chooses to scramble, then there's another one, right? And I can kind of get a visual idea of like, how good does this look for me? Will he scramble? This is me. This is him in the English Channel. This is him if he chooses to scramble. And then Paris is down here. This is Paris over here. So it's all my 1s, my 2s, my 3s, my 4s. He has 2 anti-aircraft to roll against me, since I have 2. These are both 2 tactical bombers. Thankfully, he didn't hit me. I actually had a completely overwhelming Paris victory here. But anyway, that doesn't matter. How the game actually went doesn't matter. But this way, you can just think ahead. You snap a picture, you show up, and you already know exactly where everyone's going. You know, you already know exactly where everybody's going because you take a photo as a reference, and you know exactly who's going into what. Now, of course, this is crowded, so I won't do that right here. But just to show the plane movement here, you know, this like having this right off the bat speeds up that first turn is the longest turn. The first two rounds, I will say, are the longest rounds because you're really trying to shape the way everything's going to go down, you know. So this made, when I showed up to Rick's, we just got right into it. Didn't waste any time. This guy I have, you know, he's doing a non-combat movement, so he's going to go through here. He's going to go to southern France to do our little Vichy France rule, and you don't have to do that. Obviously, that's my expansion, not an out-of-box thing. But then here, and then also depending on, you can see like the way that the way they're facing. So these two tanks here, they're facing this way, so they're going to go cut through France. All these guys here are going to attack Yugoslavia down here, so they're facing towards Yugoslavia. Of course, I'm knocking everything all over the board now. These guys are going to non-combat movement into here. This guy's going to go into here. This guy's going to go into here. These guys are going to go over here. These guys are going to go here and bridge some people across, you know, or whatever, you know. And you know, you just have to have one. You just have to have. You don't have to put a chip under every single unit, but you just have like one chip under a bunch in a territory to signify that's one combat movement. So if I had, let's see, what's a good example? Like here, for example, here there's two chips here from that territory, because that one, the tanks are going to go this way. These guys are going to go this way, you know. If they were all going to go to Yugoslavia, I would only put one chip there. It's just one signifying one combat movement, you know. But yeah, so that is how I prepped for our most recent game. And I recommend you do it too. Oh yeah, also that battleship is going into the English channel. But yeah, I recommend this for the planning G1 if you want to play Germany and you're playing at somebody else's house. I highly recommend playing it like this, planning it out like this, and just snapping photos so you can get right into it. I'm sure other people have other methods. I just realized I forgot to address this blue chip. That blue chip just signifies that fighters are going to land there. So I usually use blue chips just to designate a landing space. So that's what that's about. Other than that, I think I covered everything. Yeah, so that's my little advice on how to plan G1's turn at if you're playing at a friend's place. You know, and you're Germany. If you're Germany and you're playing elsewhere, not at your house, this is how I recommend just planning in advance like this and snapping a photo. You know, this guy's gonna go here. That guy also is gonna get in there. You know, this guy's gonna go at that. This guy's gonna go at that. But yeah, so snap a photo and you know, just you know, plan in advance. Any time you can save on the battlefield, on the battlefield, anytime you can save now is time saved later.